Hey gents, today I'm here with Lewis. He is a tailor. He runs Aspiring Gent. You can check him out on Instagram. I'll link to him below, but I'm also going to link to several videos that we're working on today where we're going to be repairing some chinos, trousers, and jeans. We're going to do them by hand. We're also going to be doing them with a machine. We're even going to show you how to taper up shirts, which is the main thing that I always tried to do but couldn't really accomplish, and so I asked Lewis to come down so that he can show me how to really do it. Today we are looking at fixing what is a pretty common repair, which is right on that pocket on your trousers.
Exactly, yeah. People catch this on railings, doorknobs all the time and just rip it open, and it comes through the shop all the time. It's about like $15, $20 repair, so we're going to show you how to do it by hand at home and save you some money.
All right, so we'll show you how to thread the needle in another video. We'll link to that below, and then come back here and we'll show you how to get this right up and repaired.
So with your threaded needle, what you're going to want to do, not necessary but super helpful, take it and run it through some beeswax about 3 times. What this does is it helps the thread from knotting on itself while going through the fabric, which will save a ton of headaches from having to cut it out and restart. Now on this pant, I would definitely go with something that matches a little bit better, but just to show you kind of how the stitch is working, we're going to go with black for some contrast. What you're going to want to do is with this seam is you're going to take it, start it inside out. Now what you'll see here is this pocket usually is tacked down, as seen on here, but we had already went ahead and undone it. What you're going to do is match up the 2 seams here so that they're back where they originally were. We're going to go this way actually. Now this, you do not need to knot the needle. What we're going to do is we're going to stick it in where the stitching already is good. Poke it through. Leave a little bit of a tail, which we'll cut off later. Back it up on itself. And one more time, and then we'll start the stitch. So with the back stitch, what you're going to do is you're going to poke it through where you want to start. And you're going to form your first stitch. Now it depends on how wide you want it. All depends on what you're doing. For this one, we're going to keep it pretty close, the stitching length. Go back through on this side of the needle. You can turn it over, make sure you're going right back on that seam. And then when you're on this side, you're going to skip over a stitch. Go back up through on this side, which actually we're going to shorten that span a little bit. And then where the stitch gets its name, you're going to stitch backwards. Back onto here. Making this to look like one solid stitch. Skip up. Forward. Go back. And this stitch will best represent what a straight stitch will do on your sewing machine. And you're just going to do this all the way up the pant. I'm going to start making the stitches a little bit wider just for time, but again, you want to keep them uniform and tight together. Up at this part where the pocket is, you want to make sure all 3 layers of fabric are lining up well. And if you need to, you can put a pin there, turn it back inside out, and make sure you have it in the right spot. But as long as you're matching up these old seams, you should be just fine. If you have a thimble, it's not a bad time to use it here when you get through the 3 layers. Because when you're pushing on the meat of your finger, it can tend to sting a little bit, but if not, just keep checking on through. Again, if you want this job to go twice, 10 times as fast, I'll show you how to do it on an actual sewing machine, which will replace all this hand sewing. And then just like when we started it, I'm going to loop it back on itself. And actually this time we're going to go in through here, make a loop, push the needle through, make a knot, run it through the fabric one time just to keep the knot in place, snip it, then review your work on the other side. And again, you're going to see the thread a lot more because it's black. I probably should have put this pocket a little bit further in, but that stitch is going to hold it together just like a normal straight stitch would. Next, we're going to show you how to tack down the pocket with a bar stitch. What you're going to want to do, and actually just to show you, what it's going to replicate is this stitch right here, which kind of reinforces the pocket. On jeans you'll have a rivet, but on dress pants rivets don't look that great. So what you're going to do, also pretty tedious, but needs to be done. You're going to make 3 stitches, long stitches like this. 1, 2, and 3. Again, I will stress to you, use matching thread color to match your fabric. So the next step is you're going to take your needle, you're going to puncture it all the way through the fabric and just kind of go over top both sides, keeping the stitches real nice and tight. So then once you finally get to the end of the stitch, you're going to take the needle, go through like this, just like you finish the back stitch, go through the loop, tie a knot, tie another knot, and you're going to push the needle into the inside so that there's no excess thread hanging out. Then from here, just snip it, and there you go. Again, might need to redo it, clean it up. I would move this pocket in again a little bit more, but that's how you will repair the side seam with the pocket tack. Press it, and it'll all look perfect.
So you have it, gents. Hope that gives you a little more confidence to do some DIY tailoring at home, whether you're hemming some pants, tailoring a shirt. Thank you to Lewis for coming out and working on this series with me. I've wanted to do something like this, but I've never had the expertise in order to say, like, this is actually how you do it. I just kind of fart around at it.
And yeah, grab some practice stuff, go home, get a machine, or do some of the hand stitching, and just go to town practicing, honing it before you actually go on your real stuff. But guys, it's super easy and anyone can do it.
Yep, so check out Lewis's channel. I'll link to that below. He's working on some really cool stuff, and I'll see you around on the internet.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
All right. Till next time, gents, this is the Kavalier.